right now we're going to get into this very important conversation on financial literacy with Sanlam-Allianz, and they are represented here today by their fearless leader, the CEO and country lead, Tawiah Ben-Ahmed. Always nice to see you, Tawiah.
Nice to see you as well, Kojo.
You're becoming a good friend of our show now. And Tawiah came with another friend, Kobby Arhin, who is an executive working on inclusive markets development. Have I got that right?
Yes.
Yes, excellent. It's very nice to meet you, Isaac, and thank you for coming.
Nice to meet you as well.
All right. Maybe we'll start from the beginning, and see if we can't just get, for those who have perhaps been living under a rock, a little bit of understanding of Sanlam-Allianz. Who are you guys?
So, first of all, Kojo, good morning, and good morning to your listeners. It's amazing. Anytime I come here, I see that you guys are growing and doing an amazing job. I think it's really good to see that. And it was also impressive that you've done this for 3 decades, 30 years, when I had an opportunity to wish you well on that occasion. So, again, let me say good morning to our listeners, and most importantly, good morning to the Sanlam-Allianz people that are currently listening. It is on behalf of them that I'm able to sit here to have this conversation about financial literacy. So, Sanlam-Allianz is... I think in August 2024, I was here with you.
Yes.
When we rebranded in July of 2026, 2024 to tell you about Sanlam-Allianz. And since then, we have been busy because we committed to enable Ghanaians to live with financial confidence. And subsequently, we have been busy. I recall that our conversation on August 22nd, I did indicate that we are coming up with solutions. One particular one, which was to enable Ghanaians to be able to deliver on their dreams. And guess what? On 29th of November 2024, we launched a product we call Dream Builder. We'll talk about it at some point. But we are a purpose-driven business with the purpose to empower generations to be financially confident, secure, and prosperous. And so you can connect our purpose to why we are doing financial literacy campaign also, and with a vision to actually become the most admirable insurance services provider in Ghana, with a brand promise to live with confidence, driven by our values which form our DNA as care, collaboration, integrity, and innovation. I mean, innovation is critical to us because we always find opportunity to improve. And this morning I am happy to be with Kobby Arhin, and for good reasons. He's done his job excellently and has exceeded all targets, so he can be in a bow tie with me this morning.
That's right.
And on your show. So that's why he's here. And his job actually is to drive inclusive insurance. And the essence of inclusive insurance is to make sure that every single Ghanaian has an opportunity to be able to have access to insurance. And as we go on with the conversation this morning, we will appreciate it a lot better why this is so important.
Okay, well, listen, once again, you're very welcome. So now you've decided to talk about financial literacy, right? Financial education. Why?
Kojo, Ghana literacy rate is said to be around 80%. Before this, I did some research around it. And then I found out that when we say literacy rate, it's about the ability to read and write a simple statement in any language in Ghana. I think it's not about English literacy. It's about the ability to read and write a simple statement in any language. Then I went further to try and find out the English literacy in Ghana, and it came out to be about 69.8%. But Accra obviously has the highest of English literacy, which is about 87%. So when I'm talking to you in Accra, probably English will reach a lot more people, and that's why we chose to use English. Kojo, the next conversation, which is the focal point of what we're discussing this morning, is about financial literacy. And financial literacy is said to be around 32%, according to Standard & Poor's. Now, if financial literacy is 32% in Ghana, what does it mean? 68% of us are challenged from a financial literacy perspective. But what does financial literacy itself mean? It means the knowledge and skill to manage your finances effectively. So if 68% of us are challenged with the knowledge and skills to manage our finances effectively, then we have got some challenges to deal with. Meanwhile, the purpose of Sanlam-Allianz is to empower generations to be financially confident, secure, and prosperous. How do you deliver on this purpose if financial literacy rate is 32%? And as much as 68% of us are said to be challenged from a financial literacy perspective. So we decided to take a higher purpose. And again, like I've said to you before, this is not Sanlam-Allianz saying we are selling our product. No. This is Sanlam-Allianz embarking on a financial education campaign in order that we will improve financial literacy in Ghana to enable every Ghanaian have an opportunity with the right knowledge and skills to be able to manage their finances very well. And our end goal is to make sure that every Ghanaian becomes financially confident. And to be financially confident, you must then be able to have the comfort to finance your planned expenses and the peace of mind to cover your unplanned expenses over the period of your lifetime. And so our financial education, which is focused on enhancing financial literacy, is aimed at driving financial confidence in Ghana. And to be financially confident, you must be able to finance your planned expenses and also cover your unplanned expenses during the period of your lifetime. Then you are financially confident. But financial literacy is great, and therefore it needs access as well. And therefore, when you're financially literate, the next conversation is about the access to financial solutions that enables you to be financially confident. And I heard you talking about ABSA, and even though it's banking service, insurance was in there. Yeah. I heard him also doing the same thing about Petra, and he mentioned Petra and said there's insurance in there. So the conversation about financial education is so important. And if financial literacy is 32% in Ghana, Kojo, what is insurance literacy in Ghana?
I mean, it's going to be significantly lower.
Insurance penetration in Ghana was hovering around 1% before 2024. And then, with effect from 2023 onwards, the insurance industry moved from what is called IFRS 4, International Financial Reporting Standard 4, to International Financial Reporting Standard 17, which changed what is called revenue to insurance companies in Ghana. Now it's called insurance service revenue. And according to a report from the National Insurance Commission, the insurance service revenue driving insurance penetration in Ghana has brought down insurance penetration to about 0.63%, now less than 1%. So we've taken a responsibility to do this financial education campaign in order to improve financial literacy and, by extension, insurance literacy in Ghana. And that's the only way we can help grow insurance penetration in Ghana.
Now, insurance, you've talked about how it's a financial tool, one that unfortunately we don't know enough about, clearly. But let me ask you, how much does that matter when it comes to financial education, insurance?
Okay, so and I'm happy that when you were talking about ABSA before we started, you mentioned that you have this plus retrenchment cover plus this kind of insurance. A typical example, Kojo, if you took a loan from a bank to buy a house, a mortgage for, let's say, 10 years, okay? And unfortunately, you are called to eternal rest 5 years into the loan tenure. You haven't finished paying. What happens? Is the bank coming to repossess the house and eject the surviving family? What insurance will do is to protect your life on the basis of the loan you have taken, so that in the event of this happening, the balance of the mortgage will be paid on your behalf to the bank. The property or the house is left for your surviving family to live in. And so insurance is a critical component of finance. And if you look at banking, like you just said, I mean, it gives an opportunity to save. It gives an opportunity to invest. What it's not able to do is to give you an insurance cover on a defined amount. And therefore, what the banks will do, save, generate interest or returns, your fund grow. And the prayer is that you continue to live, continue to work, keep your job to make money and continue to save, and then you grow the fund. And so at any time T, what you have is how much you have saved, how much returns you have generated. Of course, less withdrawals and charges, then you have the balance there. What insurance says is that right from day one, you build an asset that is created by virtue of paying a defined amount of money, which we call premium. And then by virtue of paying that premium, you are guaranteed a certain amount of money in the event of anything happening to you which is outside of your control. And that is what insurance does. So insurance complements banking, savings and investments and pensions to be complete in terms of how we achieve financial confidence. And that's why I'm so happy that this financial education we are doing is not just limited to life insurance. Our colleague of general business are doing the same thing. We'll be talking about health insurance as part of financial education. We'll be talking about pensions as part of financial education. So that at the end of the day, our goal is that we in Ghana can make financial decisions well informed so that we don't fall for the challenges that are associated with matters of finance that can take us on the wrong side. But I mean, Isaac here will tell you a little about what we've done. We launched this on 28th of August, and then it's been amazing in Accra, Koforidua, Kumasi, and the rest. And he's, I mean, the man that is driving it and has been there and engaging. And I want him to share with you some of the specific insights that he has gleaned from there.
Yeah, so what we did mostly is, just like Tawiah mentioned, we want to empower generations and want people to live with confidence. You cannot live with confidence if you don't understand financial literacy. So what Sanlam-Allianz is trying to do, or what we are doing, is to break the financial literacy program into two folds. One, the on-site, which was launched in August, and then what we're doing with you. And this is in partnership with the Multimedia Group. Yeah. Now, let me tell you a bit about what we did on-site. We did a practical financial literacy education for traders, unions, and associations. In this space, we got people from the GNTD and then other associations in trade. What was important was the fact that when we launched in Accra, we had all the insurance bodies present. The NIC was there, the GIA was there, the CIG was there. And then we also got our partners like the Shego as well as Calbank to also come and then educate our customers on one, savings, budgeting. Just like Tawiah mentioned, the problem is when we speak of financial literacy, we always think it's about putting money down, savings. There's very little knowledge on insurance. And that is what propelled us to get insurance to sit down into the people who matter the most. Who are these people? People in the informal sector. Over 60% of the GDP contribution is coming from these people. So it was necessary for us to do this. One, in Accra, we're in Kumasi in October, and then we crowned it all in Koforidua just recently. The feedback is mind-blowing. It's just too early to talk about success. But then for me as a salesperson, if a customer calls me and says, you know what, I want this product, it gives me the confidence to know that people are actually beginning to understand and appreciate insurance. It's a reason why I say I live with confidence. And by the end of this section, we want every Ghanaian to also start living with confidence.
I like the sound of that. If you just joined us, we're talking to our friends from Sanlam-Allianz. They are embarking on a big nationwide financial education program, and they're doing this in partnership with Joy, which is why they're here on the Super Morning Show. And we're spending a little bit of time understanding why they're doing this and what they expect out of it. Now, there's a term that came up, and it was describing insurance as a financial risk diversion mechanism, a financial risk transfer mechanism. So tell me about that. Why do we describe insurance as a financial risk transfer mechanism?
Okay, so thank you very much. I think you may qualify to be an insurer very soon, talking about insurance as a risk transfer mechanism. So, Kojo, I think one of the challenges that we have in Ghana is basically, and like I said, it's being established that if financial literacy is about 32%, then insurance literacy is really a real challenge. And kudos to the Commissioner of Insurance, Dr. Abiba. I mean, herself and the team are trying to do their best to improve insurance awareness in Ghana. Now, insurance as a risk transfer mechanism simply means that it does not take away the fact that the risk exists. Now, the risk of accident, the risk of death, and unfortunately this morning I got a call this morning of a friend who was admitted at the hospital yesterday, and then I got a call before we came in. He said, Oko. When we talk about insurance, it doesn't take away the risk, or it doesn't give you cover so that the risk does not occur. Insurance says that you are financially protected from the financial consequences of the risk occurring. So the risk transfer mechanism in insurance simply means that you pay a certain cost today and you are financially protected tomorrow of a defined amount when the risk thus occur accidentally. Okay, and so and again, I mean, I have been doing insurance for a little over 20 years, and one of the things we have to deal with, especially those of us that are very religious, is that we believe that our life is insured by God, and that we shall not die, and that nothing bad will happen to us. Then unfortunately we realize that it is appointed unto man to die, and you have no view of even when it will occur. And our focus is not about the risk not occurring, but we are enabling you to transfer the financial consequences of the risk occurring to another entity, and that is called the insurance company. And by so doing, you pay a certain known cost today that provides you financial cover in the future when the risk thus occur. I mean, in Ghana today, we've seen a number of examples or unfortunate incidents about losing, notable national people that we deeply love, and I don't want to, you know them. I mean, unfortunately, we lost the wife of our former president. It was a heartbreaking situation. I mean, we're seeing a number of such. So every day we are reminded that we live with this risk, and when they do occur, there is financial consequences associated with that. So the focus of insurance is not to prevent the risk from occurring, but to take care of the financial consequences. Just imagine a situation like this happening, and then from a financial perspective and the cost that it brings, you are challenged in dealing with it. You're dealing with two things: emotions and the financial stress associated with that. And you really don't want to put yourself in that situation. And Kojo, I think when I was here last year in August, I asked the same question, and I said, in Ghana today, it is not compulsory for the salary or income of the Ghanaian worker to be insured. So even as we get ourselves concerned and worried emotionally about the demise of a Ghanaian worker or breadwinners, the conversation then becomes, what happens to their income? What happens to their salaries? And I've always asked the question, if you work here and you are called to eternal rest at 45, will your organization pay your monthly salary for the next 15 years so that your surviving family will have the benefit of your income? And I have always noticed that whenever I ask this question, the response is, and this is what I'm getting from you, Kojo, this morning. That is the thing about insurance. Insurance is a risk transfer mechanism. The most important asset that we have as breadwinners, as workers, is our ability to continue to earn income. And we need to protect it. Because if, unfortunately, what a shock comes in today, and your name goes off the payroll, and you are also unable, if you're doing your own business, you're also unable to get up to go and work to earn income. Think about it. What then happens to the surviving family that you leave behind? What if you become disabled and unfortunately you're not able to continue to work? Is your income also going to be affected? So when we talk about insurance as a risk transfer mechanism, insurance enables you to protect your income. And I am hoping, and that's why I'm so happy that the National Insurance Commission, led by Dr. Abiba, are working so hard to make sure that we leverage on insurance to protect the income of the Ghanaian workers in this country.
Very important. Isaac, you talked about being financially confident. I liked the sound of that. But what goes into that? What does that entail exactly?
So, being financially confident, comes in different folds. For me, I want to zero in even in products. Then we can even appreciate the nature of being confident and what financial education really does. So, I am serving what we call the inclusive market, that is people in the informal sector. And then the people who are least insured are these people. This is because that financial confidence is not there. And it's also because we are designing products that really does not fit their needs. So what we've done in Sanlam-Allianz is that we've taken time to design product, getting feedbacks on the field, asking the customers what exactly they want. So there's a product we've launched called FlexiCover. And this FlexiCover, anytime I talk about it, I'm so excited and passionate about it because it is the product that is going to change the market. One, it gives you that flexibility. You know, Kojo, it's interesting. Sometimes we tend to think we are immortal. So sometimes when you sell insurance to somebody, they tell you, oh, for me, I don't want to buy it now, or I don't want to cover myself. I'm rather thinking about my loved one, let's say my parents. Kojo, what do you do to such a person? Such a person, you must be able to create a policy for that person. That is what FlexiCover does. It gives people the opportunity to say, you know what, I don't want to insure myself. However, I want to insure my parents. Likewise, this FlexiCover, it is more or less like, it's not a typical one-size-fits-all. You know, a typical insurance product would be like, okay, I'm buying a funeral policy, there's this in there, there's that in there, there's this in there. But with this one, it's like a buffet, where you get to choose the risks you want to cover. How do I mean? It means that if I meet a Sanlam-Allianz agent, all I need to do is I want the FlexiCover. In this FlexiCover, I don't want to buy a funeral policy, or I don't want a funeral benefit. I just want something for hospitalization. Even for hospitalization, because I'm traveling from Accra to Kumasi, can you give me something on accidental hospitalization, so that if anything should happen to me, at least I have that protection. You know, it's just, a 24-hour journey. You can have that on FlexiCover. The beauty is that when you go to a buffet, you get to choose the meal you want. The same with FlexiCover. You choose the risk that you feel is most important to you, and you pay accordingly. So in this case, insurance being expensive doesn't even come to play, because we are not boxing everything in one to say, you know what, buy this, when we know that some of the risk, you may not even need them.
Yeah.
In this financial confidence, what we are trying to do is we're not only empowering individuals, but then fintechs, insurtechs, who even want to pick up this product and then embed on their platforms. Our doors are opened. For us, financial confidence spans beyond just saving and budgeting, but then we're delving deep into what insurance can do. It's unfortunate that we think of savings before we think of insurance. But you know, outside of this country, the fundamental of finance starts with insurance. Because with insurance, you don't need to have that much. However, insurance guarantees you that much with very little. So that is what I can say about financial confidence.
Let me just add a little to what Isaac has said. I think to be financially confident, it means you have the comfort to finance planned expenses. Comfort to finance planned expenses. You pay your rent, you know, all the planned things that you have to deal with. You have the comfort to finance those expenses. And secondly, you have the peace of mind to cover unplanned expenses. I mean, so you are able to finance planned expenses, and you also have the peace of mind that unplanned expenses will be covered as well. Now, it is important to be financially literate, to be financially confident, because financial literacy is important to guide you to be able to make decisions around the financial solutions that you require to be financially confident. And to enable that access and the opportunity to leverage on the financial education program we are doing, and that is how come Isaac is talking about the FlexiCover solution that we've created. So we are driving financial education to enable us in Ghana make sound financial decisions, evaluate options and choices that, you know, financial institutions offers to us, and to be able to make sound decisions that combined savings, investment with insurance, to be able to enable us to be financially confident by covering our planned expenses comfortably and being in a position to have peace of mind that even if I am called to eternal rest as I am still working, my salary will continue for the benefit of my surviving family. That peace of mind that if this thing happens to me and there are exactly the unplanned expenses associated with it will still be covered. That is what we are talking about. And so part of what we'll be doing is to be able to share the solutions that we have created, which gives access to leverage on the financial literacy that will come out of the financial education program that we're currently doing.
Now, there's a particular type of insurance that I'm interested in, and that's insuring my child's education.
Yeah.
In Ghana, SHS is free. But is it possible for me to insure my child's education after SHS?
yes, Kojo, you can do that. And thankfully, Sanlam-Allianz has really made it possible. And let me start off by positioning it this way. And this is what you're saying. You really want to celebrate that proud moment when your child has completed that degree, or whether it's first or second. And on that graduation day, you say, yes, it happened for me. And whether you are alive, whether you are disabled, whether you are critically ill, you want to really position yourself for that proud moment. And so, yes, we have solutions to deal with financing the education of our children. And the way we have positioned it is to leverage on the support of government to provide free education or free SHS education. And therefore, parents have opportunity now to prepare for tertiary education for their children. And so we have created a solution that enables you to have a cover amount linked to the cost of educating your child. And the tenure of the policy will be linked to the period that it will take your child from the stage the child is now to when the child will gain admission to the tertiary institution, and then the policy becomes ready. But the good thing, Kojo, that we've done is that with our education product, we give an insurance cover equivalent to the estimated cost of educating your child. So that if you are unfortunate to live to the maturity or the tenure of the product, your child will still go to school. And that is why insurance is so important in financial education. Because if you decided to put, let's say, money in a savings account in a bank to educate your child, what you will be able to build will be dependent on the amount of money you save, the returns you generate. At any time T, less withdrawals and charges as applicable is what you will have. But the risk is there. So what insurance does is that it guarantees the amount of money you are saving to generate returns at a certain future date today. So that if you unfortunately don't live together, your child does not suffer the tertiary education that you're looking for. So yes, we've got that. And I give you a typical example. If, for instance, you are looking at a 50,000, for instance, a 50,000 Ghana cedis to cover, to educate a child for a period of let's say 7 years, okay, we will just and then the amount of money you are looking to generate is 50,000 on a monthly basis. We'll just tell you to pay 247 Ghana cedis. Wow. 247 Ghana cedis.
Wow.
Can secure you 50,000 today, and hopefully over the period you will be able to generate the 50,000 Ghana cedis to educate a child. So you would rather give yourself the peace of mind that my child's tertiary education is covered, whether I am alive, whether I'm called to eternal rest, or whether I'm critically ill or disabled. That is the kind of education policy we are talking about. So it's not just about savings, because savings alone does not cut it.
We are getting some financial education from Sanlam-Allianz. We're here with their leader, Tawiah Ben-Ahmed. He's here with Isaac Arhin, and they are really walking us through the paces and getting us to understand what it means to be financially literate. And it's been such a fascinating conversation so far. The Super Morning Show right here on Joy 99.7 FM. Our friends from Sanlam-Allianz have been with us for most of the morning, giving us financial education. They've pointed out how important it is for us to be financially literate. Too few of us are. And they have really outlined some of the very important and key lessons that we ought to be thinking about in order to improve our financial literacy. We've been talking to Tawiah Ben-Ahmed. He's the CEO and country lead at Sanlam-Allianz. He's here with his colleague Isaac Arhin, who is an executive who's been dealing with inclusive marketing, market development. And apparently he's been smashing all the records there. So
he's doing it.
Yes. So it's really good to have you both. And so far, the conversation has been fascinating. We've got lots of messages coming through. Jacqueline sent me this one, said, Kojo, the man talking about insurance, is he a pastor? Because clearly you've converted her. She's feeling the spirit. I like that. So before the break, we were talking about the numerous ways in which insurance can be a tool for transferring financial risk. The risk doesn't go away, but thanks to insurance, you can save yourself from the financial implications of the risk if it happens. It's been a big and important thing that we've learned so far. All right, now, before you came in this morning, I was talking to Fintua about insurance, and I mentioned to him that it's not just assets you can insure. One of the important things you can insure are your skills. In fact, in any family, their most valuable asset is the breadwinner.
Exactly.
And that's the guy who's going out and earning and bringing in the money to pay for everything. If something happens to that guy, he loses his life, or a guy or woman, whomever the breadwinner might be. If they decide to die, right? or they have an accident, they lose their ability to work and win the bread. How can insurance help them to transfer the financial risk of that?
Kojo, I wish we launch a program to do this for the rest of this year and even into next year, because the question you have asked really concerns me. The most important asset that we have as breadwinners or as Ghanaian workers is our ability to continue to earn income. And that ability can be taken away by no fault of ours. And it can be taken away through death through illness. It can be taken away through accident. And the accident can be road, it can be helicopter. Okay? It can come from anywhere. And it is unexpected. You have no clue when it's going to happen. But when it does happen without the protection of your income, then the consequences follow. And I've seen this too many times. And that's why I think we should continue to have this. And again, I'll tell you something. Under the Workmen Compensation Act of Ghana, employers are responsible to pay compensation to employees when they suffer injury or death during and in the course of work. Okay, it used to be accident limited. Now it's been extended to cover illness. But that obligation to pay compensation to employees is not mandatory to take an insurance cover for. And again, that scope of cover is limited to during and the course of work. So outside of work over weekends, then what happens to you? Now, the protection of the income of the Ghanaian worker is also not mandatory to insure by law in Ghana, as you have in South Africa, as you have in Nigeria, and the rest. So what have we got to do, and what does it really mean? You don't want a situation where a breadwinner moves on and his salary goes off the payroll in the same month he moves on. And so I'll give you some examples. I mean, if you earn 5,000 Ghana cedis a month, your annual income, for instance, is 60,000. The advice we give in protection of your income is into the minimum that we should give ourselves is 3 times our annual income cover. When you insure your annual income times 5, in this case it will be around 180,000. It means that you have given yourself income protection for 36 months. But our recommendation is actually to do annual income times 5, which means that you have insured your annual income for monthly income for a period of 60 months. Now, if you're earning 5,000 Ghana cedis a month with an annual income of 60,000, and you follow the recommendation to insure your annual income times 5, then you have a 300,000 cover. Now, with this cover, we have a solution or a product we called Confident Care, and the name was carefully selected. It gives you the confidence to care for yourself and your dependents. Under the inclusive package, you'll be paying a premium of 525 Ghana cedis a month. Wouldn't you rather pay 525 Ghana cedis to protect your monthly income for 60 months? And then under the classic package, you are paying 618 Ghana cedis a month. And under the prestige, you are paying 717 Ghana cedis a month for a cover of 300,000 and above. And you know what this policy or product will do for you? In the event of being called to eternal rest, whether it is through illness or accident, whether it is by road or helicopter, the policy will give you 50% of that lump sum or that amount of money as a lump sum. and then the policy will then pay you monthly income for 36 months if that's the option you selected, or for 60 months if that is the option you selected. And the beautiful part of it is that after every 12 months, that monthly amount we pay get increased, just the same way that you get salary increase if you're still working. Kojo, the other part is, if for instance you became disabled, you're not dead, but you're disabled and still alive, and that option of this product, we will give you monthly income only. And if you selected 36 months, we'll pay you monthly income for 36 months. I'm talking about this 5,000 we are talking about. 36 months. And if you chose the 60 months option, we'll pay you monthly salary for 60 months. And after every 12 months, it gets increased. The increase rate, you have an option to select with minimum of 7.5%. And by so doing, you are then able to have peace of mind that your income is protected. Yes, it's not compulsory in Ghana to insure your income, but our income is the source of financing the assets that we have. Our income is the source of maintaining the families that we have. Our income is what will take care of us even when we are unable to work. So we've got to protect it. And I think we should do this to a point where every single Ghanaian earning income has protected his or her income. Because too many of us are losing our income from sources or circumstances we have absolutely no control over. To be financially confident, you definitely would need a confident care suitable to your income.
I love the sound of that product. Now that's certainly assurance, if you will. You know that whatever happens, your family is looked out for. It's very important. Thanks for that. All right, now beyond financial risk protection, how exactly can life insurance, which I did say we would talk about, how can that help me, to build wealth?
Now you have moved from protection of income to enabling us to realize our dreams. And I remember in August 2024, when I was here, I told you about this particular solution I'm going to be talking to you about, that we are working on it. Because like I said, we are talking about financial literacy, which gives you the knowledge and skill to manage your finances well. And then banks and insurance service providers need to provide you access to solutions that actually enables you to exercise your financial literacy. Now, all of us, including yourself, Kojo, is that we all have got dreams. And it's always said that you need to dream big. Dream as big as the ocean. But what is the essence of a dream if there is no plan to be able to make sure that the dream is realized? So you have an ambition, if you like, to build a certain, maybe it can be to buy, let's say, a plot of land, to build a home, so that you in Accra somewhere, so that you can cut down on significant rent payment. You want to own your home, go on retirement and live in your own home. But how do you do it? If you look at the cost of land in let's say Accra, for instance. So we start off by asking you, what is your dream? Then we go further to engage you to understand the estimated value of your dream. Let's say your dream will cost you 100,000 to execute. And then we have a conversation around your income and say, given your level of income, because we do not want for you to be financially confident, you must be able to finance planned expenses, which include the expenses of today. So we will not advise you to put everything into insurance or into finance. Take care of yourself now as you're building and solving for the future. So we say, okay, if you can, for instance, put aside, let's say, 1,000 Ghana cedis, what it means is that you can actually grow 100,000 in 7 years. And what we'll do for you is that because your dream is valued in this case at 100,000 Ghana cedis, your monthly contribution of 1,080 cedis will do two things for you. One, it will protect that 100,000 Ghana cedis for you from day one. And then a part of the 1,080 Ghana cedis will be put into an investment, which we call that investment component are actually in two pots. One pot is called the savings pot, the other pot is called the goal achiever pot. And the goal achiever pot is helping you to grow that savings with returns to get to that 100,000 Ghana cedis. In this case, for 7 years, if you are blessed to live over the period of the 7 years. Yeah. Now, if unfortunately the risk, that's okay. You have the 100,000 protected for you, and so your dream is realized, dead, disabled, or otherwise. And then in the course of life, in the course of working towards your 7 years, you have the savings pot component of this, what we call the Dream Builder product. And what that component does for you is to give you an opportunity for an emergency fund. Because you may be working towards a 7-year ambition of 100,000, but in the course of it, there may be some emergencies that you want to deal with. It gives you an opportunity to come into the savings pot and to be able to withdraw about 100% of the money there, just leaving 500 Ghana cedis there. And you have an opportunity to also even put a lump sum option as well into this. So yes, you've got dreams, but we are here to enable you to realize your dreams. It is not enough to dream. Prayer alone won't kill it. And therefore, it's important that we have dreams, we put value to the dreams, and talk to us. We'll help you with a practical dream builder solution suitable to you to be able to realize your dreams.
We've got a couple of minutes to go, but there are two things I want us to touch on. So we're going to have to split those 2 minutes between them. The first one is this. Look, there are many people who are not very confident about insurance. And the reason is that, in Ghana, we tend to think that insurance companies, they don't pay out. They'll do anything to avoid paying out. And even when they are compelled to pay out, they still somehow manage to disappoint claimants. Is there some reason why we should consider Sanlam-Allianz to be different?
As of September this year, we've paid 70 million in claims. I mean, as in Sanlam-Allianz Life. And then if you look at the information from the National Insurance Commission, the report indicates that 2024, the year 2024, insurance companies paid 9.2 million on a daily basis in claims. The essence of insurance is a promise to pay claim, period. Insurance means promise to pay claims. And therefore, claim defines our core responsibility as insurance. And that is why, Sanlam-Allianz, with over 200 years of experience, operating across 27 countries with over 80 businesses in the group, has built not only the expertise, experience, exposure, but has the financial capacity behind what we do. And our claims payment is as seamless as a USSD processor way. That's what I would say to that. That's the whole essence of our business.
All right. Well, listen, since you've got us all excited now about financial literacy and insurance, how insurance can be a tool in creating financial comfort and safety, tell us how to find you guys so you can sort us out with all of these protections.
So just as I said earlier, I said at the end of the section, would empower people and people who aspire to live with confidence. And I'm sure you can attest to the fact. So it's important that if you want to live with confidence, you join the best insurance company so far. So people can contact us through our website or even across all our 16 branches in the region. I mean, we have our head office in Accra, which is at the Abilene on the Allied Heights, the Olusegun Obasanjo Highway. We're on the second floor of the Allied Heights. Also, people can connect us with through our SaaS Connect, our care portal. And just like my boss rightly mentioned, claim payment is very important. So we have a USSD code for our inclusive market people who can just dial the *1890# to be able to access their claims over their mobile money, and also the claim will be paid via mobile money. Our call center numbers are 030-824-9090. 030-824-9090. Our website is care@gh.sanlamallianz.com, and the website follows suit. On all our social media handles, I mean X, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, you can reach us via Sanlam-Allianz Ghana. Thank you very much.
This is so useful. And look, one of the things that I'm realizing now is that you guys know what you're doing. I mean, you've been doing combined, right? If you take the history of your companies that have come together to create Sanlam-Allianz, combined, you've been doing this for 200 years in 27 different countries across the continent. You obviously know what you're doing, and that gives us as listeners to you confidence that you are absolutely capable of ensuring our financial confidence and our financial security and prosperity. And so we have no doubt people will be beating down your doors to ensure that you give them all of that financial comfort.
Let me make this very simple. You know, people want to reach us easily via WhatsApp. So let me also mention the WhatsApp number, which is 0544 1083 54.
Okay.
0544 1083 54. So they can easily reach us.
Well, I hope you wrote that down, because Tawiah Ben-Ahmed and Isaac Arhin are done. They're about to leave. But please, this can't be the end of it. We have to have you back.
It's obvious we have to continue.
Yeah.
We will.
Well, until then, thank you both
Thank you
ever
very
so
much.
much for your time with us. That was Sanlam-Allianz, guys.